the wee hand thing again, but you failed at it this time around.
I thought he was going to do the transition as I did it, you know?
You're a fail.
Well, we're getting into coastline anyway. EG start out on the defense. We'll see how things are going down. That's interesting that Luminosity have opted to start on attack. We have seen this map be very attacker-sided recently, though. Well, we'll see how things go down as EG are going to take Jackal off of the board. So we've actually already seen this map during the OGA tournament of EG. EG did pick this against Obey, and this was a pretty close map that Obey actually ended up winning in the end. And Luminosity, well, they were watching that match because the KB is going to be banned off the board.
Expected though on a very attacker-sided map where Hard Breacher doesn't see a ban, and it's all about the information gathering operators that allow you to have that big way into bomb site, give you that explosive factor. Dokkaebi is one of those operators, of course, similar plays to a Lion. Maestro gone, and I'm expecting, well, either Echo or Mira here is going to go. It's one or the other.
I think there's a lot of options here for EG in terms of bans. We've seen Jaeger bans on coastline as well come through, and EG did have to play against that on Shrug. There's going to be a Valkyrie ban coming out, so Mira's actually going to be available once again.
Echo's available, which I'm more surprised about. So IQ now needs to be a constant pickup for a team. So that does also kind of limit what the attackers have. We've talked about how strong the attack sides can be. But whenever now you're forced to always play an IQ, that takes away from like another potential strong operator, isn't it? That's also like kind of mind games into it. You're only allowed to pick 5 operators. If you don't bring an IQ, we've seen teams absolutely stumble over themselves because they cannot get rid of a yokai drone.
Well,
I don't think LG care.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see how it does go down. We see the line being brought here as well. We saw between EG and Obey, there was a line pretty much every single round from them. Between both teams, so... Yeah, we do see the IQ coming through. That should be able to remove those Echo drones, the yokai drones off the board, and no Mirror coming out from EG just so far. As we'll go to a hookah and a billiards room defense. What do you think about this defense? We talked about it quite a lot. It tends to be like the kind of first core site, but I think, honestly, we've seen teams drop this a lot more than they picked it up. We've seen Kitchen be a much stronger defense.
It's very simple to attack. It's really easy. All you do is you take control of Aquarium and you walk in. It is one of the bomb sites where you literally need to do the most minimal things for it. Well, of course, Coastline's just a small map in general, but the way it's kind of sanctioned off into 4 corners, you can literally just take that one corner. It's really weird the way Coastline plays out. Of course, there is always that factor of destructibility from below, another very big vertical map with all the holes you can create as an attacker or defender, and C4s are always going to be another thing. And how many times have we seen a C4 in Coastline just get like a double kill before? So many.
Well, we'll have a look how things are going to go down as we move into our very first round of Coastline. Luminosity start out on the attack, and they brought a pretty frag-heavy lineup as well as Factor on the line. Very recent addition coming through from Luminosity. So for those who don't keep up with things like that, Drip was originally part of this roster when they qualified for Pro League, then they dropped him and they picked up Pixel, and now for the second half they've dropped Pixel and they picked up Factor. And I think honestly, like, Factor is the latest iteration of this team, and this is the strongest that Luminosity have been looking against other Pro League teams.
Yeah, I do like the addition of Factor. I think it gives them that stability that they were kind of lacking in some cases. You know, he's playing those flex operators, a role which I don't think we'd see Rexon play because we know how great he can be with that R4C in his hand. And Doodle actually opens up. My man Cole, he's firing through. I want to see more from this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely doing very, very well. Already making his way through theater, and EG's whole roam presence has been completely denied already. NVK is the first to fall.
Dot gone. That's a big operator hit. Doesn't give you that same control if someone does get downed or if someone's in a bit of a weird position. You can try and stim them up to health to perhaps survive like a nade. We've seen that before. Stim pistols really coming in clutch most of the time. And not only that, it's MVK, a man who's really came to life since Canadian has since moved away from this roster. And we've kind of found why MVK was one of the best players back in like year 1, year 2. He was really up there, fragging out everybody. And now we're starting to see glimmers of that shine through again. Geo creeping up towards main stairs. That Claymore is going to be easily taken out. Does get spotted by the E1D as he retreats back downstairs. Young does find Thomas, and that's the long angle being held by the Echo. And Luminosity, they've kind of stopped here. They're looking as if they're trying to entry in towards the hookah rather than the expected Aquarium.
Well, Factor will pick up the refrag onto Young, and that's the Yokai drones offline. Still available for the info, but not available for that plant denial. Mo has managed to find his way down below. He should be able to impact out as well. Just go for those refrags on anyone who's repelling outside of the hookah window. He's got a lot of roam presence down here, as well as Legion Man's right above him. Looks like Aquarium Take is going to be coming through quite heavily for Luminosity. Oh, but there goes Factor.
There goes Factor indeed. Necrox picks that one off. Rexon inside of 90 corridor. There is that Legion creeping around on the back stairs, and it is all level. And EG, they have control. They have control of Diffuser, more importantly. It's a 2v3. Luminosity have to try and pick up the pieces where they were scattered around. Rexon does eliminate Geo, and there goes Modiga.
Yeah,
Necrox, such low HP against two fragging operators. Diffuser should be recouped now by Luminosity. Yes, it will be. There has to be some great cover being provided by Hyena. As Rexon will try and initiate the defuse. Is he covering this side? That doesn't look as if he is, but the fact that he was planted behind the bomb chassis, it works well enough. Luminosity, they scrape by. Round number 1 goes in their favor.
MVP of that round, the drone outside of luggage. Completely able to spot that Necrox went for that really deep rotate all the way through luggage. The fact that they know he's there means they can easily recover the diffuser and just go for that plant, and I think that's just single-handedly wins them the round there. Necrox did really well to play aggressively there and shut down that plant early on. He was throwing out smokes on the one side, pushing on the other side, picked up 2 kills, takes the line off board as well. Really good kills coming out from Necrox, but unfortunately just could not make it work. Round number 2 getting underway, and already a strong start for Luminosity.
Kitchen now for Evil Geniuses. Not wanting to go for Hooker once again. But knowing Luminosity, they will take full advantage of the things that the attackers have going for them in Kitchen, and those things are the vertical control. You can bring in a softer structure, like Sledge, like the Buck, and just start raining havoc. You can really get your teeth right into the wood and just create so much havoc in the bomb site. The fact that you can limit so many positions, you can open up the entirety of the B-bomb site. Nobody can sit in behind where the stock would be. You can't really sit in towards A, towards that little dark spot in behind the pantry. So much that the attack has going for them, and once you kind of clear out all of those specific positions and you hold the cross angles, an easy delivery push. We've seen that happen so many times. So a lot of pressure now on Evil Geniuses, see how they will probably cope with that setup from Luminosity. I do expect a more roam game. Already we've seen essence of that throughout Evil Geniuses with their setup. They had an aggressive Dock and a Jaeger playing in towards Penthouse. Didn't work for them though. They lost that first opening engagement, but they will try and hold upstairs to try and keep the pressure off of their anchors and take the fight against Luminosity, which is what teams need to do against a team with such passion. We know how hungry this young team is, and they really want to make it to the land, don't they, James? You've been speaking to them. You know how much they want to.
I've been talking to Hyena all week, and he is desperate to get out here to Croatia to put some bodies in the dirt. So we'll see if he's able to do that so far. We'll see round number 2 getting underway in the second attack for Luminosity. Already a very strong start for them, as I said. You see MVK, however, swatching up onto the Mozzie, and I'm glad that they've gone Kitchen. As I said, I think this is the strongest site on Coastline right now.
EG still having that roam game. And also Geo, looking as if he's playing aggressive in towards Sunrise, and Luminosity, they've smelled him out, and will try and push him out. Flashbang has full blinded him. There should be an easy pickup, but no, nobody from Luminosity able to jump on the opportune moment. And all of a sudden, Evil Geniuses, they have a 2-man advantage.
Yeah, things looking good for EG already, as that's already the line off board and offline. We'll see already EG kind of creep around and shut down this blue bar push, as an Echo drone from Young will make its way into Office. Will get shut down, however. Luminosity have a lot of control over Office, but a lot of control over anything else right now. Remember, the site is in Kitchen, not in blue bar, so they have to rotate their attack.
I'm really surprised that they went for this option, perhaps seeing that there was a quite heavy roam game upstairs, but then even at that, Luminosity, they're not a team that kind of scares away from the fight. Doodle, by himself upstairs with Diffuser, has to be careful, because if they lose him, they lose that control of the plant. Evil Geniuses just have to sit back. They've done a lot heavy lifting in the beginning, and really, I don't know where Luminosity go from here. This should just be an easy round for EG, unless they throw this one away. Just Luminosity being caught up. Lack of drones, though, for me personally, not being able to drone at Sunrise. You're bringing the Lion to help. Whenever you know where a guy is, you pop the Lion charge, and it's an easy pre-fire. You know he's not going to move anywhere. I just don't know. They're instead going to try and rush in towards delivery, which is the wrong move, and they all fall.
It was a bit desperate at the end there, as Hyena will TK Rexon, and EG, however, will pick up round number 2. Things looking very, very good for them so far. But that's the, that's like the core site, right? Like, that's the site we expect EG to win on. but they still have yet to prove that they can hold site. That isn't Kitchen right now. It's very early days, however, so far, as we're getting head to a blue bar and sunrise bar defense coming out from Evil Geniuses, and Mirror's going to make an appearance here.
Let's see how this is going to be used. I'd imagine it will be for the kind of upstairs hold. EG, already from the past 2 rounds, we've seen that they want to try and go for a roam game and deny access to Luminosity. Instead of 6-pick onto the Mozzie. I think that's the first time I've ever seen someone 6-pick onto the operator. I've never seen like a Mozzie be 6-picked.
That is kind of rare.
Because like even if you know they have a Mozzie, what do you do against them? You know, everybody takes him. His gadget isn't like a massive thing. It's just like a mute jammer, isn't it? It's the fact that you bring him for everything else that he gets. He has a C4, 2-speed, 2 great options of guns. Has a sidearm that can also kill, plus gives you that destructibility factor.
Yeah, that's true.
An all-rounder.
So, yeah, lots of utility on the board from Mozzie here. We'll have a look how things go down here for Evil Geniuses.
10 seconds left before insertion.
And what exactly they want to do here for their defense. It does look like they're playing a pretty spread out defense. Of course, you have that kitchen hold. We do talk about this a lot, and we talked about this in the Disruptor lineup as well, when they went here, that, you know, it really is all about the kitchen hold, and you want to see what's going on there. Because without the kitchen, you have that sight line into Sunrise completely opened up, and that can easily cut the sight lines in half. So we'll have a look what LG want to do here for their attack. Let's have a look what it goes down.
It's Luminosity taking their time and trying to figure out where they actually want to push. And the thing about Luminosity is that they never really commit to one side. They're very flexible in how they kind of take teams apart. They'll look for an opening, they kind of drone out first and see what side looks doable for them. And at the moment, Kitchen is kind of on the table. Whenever you see Rexon stacked up outside here with a couple of drones assisting him, they're going to try and eliminate that kind of off-site hold. The whole point of holding Kitchen for this bomb site specifically is, well, first of all, it takes Kitchen approach away from the attackers. Oh, nice peek from MVK, but it also does assist with the holding off the blue bar, and it creates another angle that attackers need to be wary of.
Oh, but there's a refrag quickly coming out from Rexon there. It's going to take NVK off the board and now turn it into a 4v4. So plenty of time left on the board here for LG to do their clear and do their push. But things overall not looking too good for EG. They've lost a lot of control already. LG have a lot of utility and a lot of time to start to bring this in, as drones are going to go in heavy amounts and make sure there's no one in this kitchen remaining. NVK's dead body, and they're going to confirm that was indeed a Legion they took off the board. As they should be able to get quick control of this kitchen, and we said about this kitchen, it's very, very difficult to hold the rest of this site if you lose control of kitchen. We do still have control of Cool Vibes, however, for EG, as it looks like Mo is going to be playing up there.
So there's a 1-for-1 trade. Doodle looking to try and pull it back into their advantage, but Rexon actually strikes, and Necrox, he goes down, so it's back in control of Luminosity. Minute to go, pressuring down the bomb site. Mo is in a bit of a tricky position, because yes, he's holding on to that side of the map, but the positioning isn't going to assist him with the 9 off the diffuser. He's just lurking around, not assisting Geo, and they don't even know the diffuser's being planted. They snuck in under the cover of, I think that was the explosions going off, and that's masked the sound of the diffuse being planted. Young just pull one back though, and Mo tries his flank. But again, Rexon on a quad kill for himself, and Young stuck in such a rough position, and Scorpion not landing the shots, and Luminosity, wow, great round from them. Really great being able to see the weaknesses in EG.
Also, just like what happened there with Necrox behind the bar, that is the importance of being able to hold down Kitchen, because of Rexon having control of that angle, he picks up the kill onto the smoke on the rotate, he keeps up 2 more kills, and ends it with a 4K just because he's been holding onto that Kitchen. You got the opening kill onto MVK as well, and Mo on the flank, like Rexon just doing all the work there on that fragging power, and he's the Ash, you know, you should be expecting that to go through. We'll see right before getting underway, but LG with a pretty commanding start on their own. We go back to Hookah Lounge and a Billiards Room. This was almost a very, very clutchable win from Necrox.
It was. There was a lot of potential for them to really excel in those positions. We know how great of a player Necrox is in that smoke. He can make things happen just on a whim. But we'll go back up to the Hookah. Same lineup, I'm pretty sure, from Evil Geniuses, and another similar lineup from Luminosity. They're very all-in for the aggressive operators. You look at the guns that they've brought to the table. You have an F2, you have an R4C, you have a C8. My word, Jinx.
Yeah, it's
That's a lot of damage.
that's a lot of damage indeed. There is a lot of fragging power for Luminosity here to be able to bring this in. Let's have a look how things do go down as we move into round number 4. This last time it was a very passive hold coming out from EG, and they lost quick control of the roam. Looks like MVK going to go for a spawn peek here with the DJ, and he is indeed going to go for it all the way up onto the couches, but not able to find anyone on pool entrance just yet. The last time for EG, they lost really quick control over the roam game, and they had 3 people stacked up on site at the end.
Attackers have recovered their
LG, again, probing for their potential entry in. All eyes on Rex right now. He's the guy who's stepping up big time for Luminosity in this game. And just has been a big menace for EG. They can't really lock him down and try and shut him down as quick as they can. Another roam game, though, from Evil Geniuses. And last time NVK was picked up very early on, and Geo attempted like some kind of rotate, but in the end just didn't work for it. But I do like the fact that Evil Geniuses are still sticking with this aggressive standpoint. We cannot allow Luminosity to have as much control as what they want to gain. But still, Luminosity this time around, they're not interested at all in Penthouse and Fader. They're looking for the downstairs aggressive nature that they're trying to apply. I'd imagine getting Thomas in there with a buck to then start ripping just from below means that players like Young cannot sit nice and neat tucked behind reinforced walls towards B.
Geo getting pushed out here quite heavily. Nades are going to go out as well. Geo somehow still alive behind this bar as he goes for the pre-fires, but Thomas takes him off the board. Easy as that. Factor picks up one of his own kills. Now a 5v2, and EG have lost so much control all of a sudden, and they have absolutely no utility remaining, other than, of course, Necrox's gas. We have Yokai's still up on the board, but those should be able to deal with easily from Doodle. Sea Smoke is going to be opening up a bit of a rotate here, but this has to be throwable from LG, but they won't let it happen. Young will go down. It's all down to Necrox in a 1v5 to try and bring this in. He still has 2 smokes and has that SMG-11 in hand, but the double push coming up. Cool Vibes will secure a flawless round from Luminosity.
Miles better from Luminosity. Yes, they have won this attack before, but that was miles better. They improved tenfold. And Evil Geniuses, they just took their foot off the gas. They have nothing going for them. There was no opening picks. There was nobody really playing in the face of Luminosity. They let Luminosity come onto them. You don't do that. You need to be the first people to take on Luminosity.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a really spread out roam game coming out from EG. I think that Geo was trying to play that quite well behind the Sunrise bar, but when you have that much utility...
Yeah, you need to support him.
I mean, to be fair, like, he's wasted a lot of utility and time in that position, and he potentially could have picked up a kill, but unfortunately wasn't meant to be. I think EG just got solo picked apart, and you can saw that their roam game was pretty spread apart. I mean, we had Geo in Sunrise Bar, we had NVK up in Theater area, like, we have people all over the place just trying to cover all areas of the map and trying to find those early gunfights, but LG stack up and take them down. This is a really good start for Luminosity already.
It's a great start, but it's expected, though, on the attack of Coastline. Really strong map for the attackers. The flexibility that you can gain whenever all 4 bomb sites are defendable, especially with Penthouse and Theater now gaining the Mira. That could have also been a potential bomb site Evil Geniuses could have went for, and we still don't know if Luminosity will take up the mantle of that bomb site. But Luminosity are picking the exact same 5 operators because they know it works with every bomb site. They never really have to think about it too much. And Luminosity are, I would say, one of those teams that they don't think as hard as other teams. You look at SSG with how methodical they play. Luminosity are like the other side of the spectrum.
Well, the quick rush has come through from Luminosity. They tried this last time, but was looking a little bit more successful this time. As Thomas finds that opening pick, Hyena moves in, he finds a pick of his own, and they've already got control over the site. Rexon finds one, Thomas finds another. It's all of a sudden all down to Necrox to bring in. Smokes have gone down for the cover. He brings out the shotgun. Is Rexon blind? How did that happen? Luminosity take round number 5, but oh my god, almost a bit of a throw at the end from Necrox. That was, whew. That was close. How did Rexon not see him?
We have a saying in the UK, James. Should have gone Specsavers.
Well, we're going to move into round number 6. What a dominant performance so far from Luminosity. If they can bring in this round, I think they bring in the map. Honestly, this is looking not good at all for EG. Well, we'll see how it does go down. So we move to round number 6. I think this DKB ban as well is going to majorly affect EG's attacks, but if you remember when they went to Obey, there was a line at a KB pretty much every single round.
And it makes sense for a map like Coastline, especially.
Yeah.
You think about the aggressive nature that you can apply. Hard Breacher, as we know, doesn't have a big say in this map at all. We've already seen that from Luminosity. Not a single Hard Breacher in sight, but they're still making it work just down to their fragging potential that we know they have as a raw gun skill team. Evil Geniuses, remember, if they rely on that information, what are they going to do about the Dokkaebi? We know what Lion and Dokkaebi combo's like. There's teams who are masters of that class. And EG, I think, kind of fit underneath that level, don't they?
We saw the Lion come out for the first couple of rounds from Luminosity, but since then they haven't been bringing it. Factor's been bringing the Twitch mostly. Instead, I do like that change-up. I think Luminosity don't really benefit from the Lion here. They haven't been using it that effectively, and we've seen Lion go down pretty early on in most rounds. I think Factor picking up the Twitch here, I think that's a better call, especially on coastline, right?
Just an F2, isn't it?
It's an F2,
You play it for the F2, you don't play it for the gadget. Yes, it's a Twitch drone that can disable Maestro turrets, but...
I think you can play it for the gadget, but on coastline specifically, this is all about frag power.
It's just an F2, isn't it? It's just dominant. Still the best gun in my eyes. Even with the 5 less bullets, you know how much that changed the gun.
Yeah, that hasn't really changed it whatsoever, but we'll see round of 6 going into it. This will be the final defense for Evil Geniuses. If they can't bring in this round, they're looking really bad, honestly.
So, drone versus drone war there. Echo sees the drones, but the drones also see the Echo drone. And there's a Twitch drone. So many drones. Drone wars. But there's the battle for the rooftop, and Rexon does down and also kills the Legion using the breach around. That's one way to use utility.
Great early pick coming out from Rexon from the roof there. Geo going to be going down so early on, denying the rotates up into VIP as well. As Hyena trying to do some work on the entrance here, but NVK will take Doodle off the board early on. Rexon tries to get in, he will get the kill as well. Factor finds one of his own as well, up onto that VIP window. This is great duo work coming out between Rexon and Factor to try and bring it in for themselves. It's all down to Young and Necrox to try and bring this in, but this is not looking good for EG whatsoever.
How many times have we said it's down to Necrox? What, 6 rounds now in a row, pretty much?
He is the clutch master.
It's just been this guy. He's been the only man left who we've looked at and said, yeah, he actually has a bit of fight around him. Everybody else from EG, where's Mo? Where's he been? I haven't seen him at all. He has not appeared on the radar, and Luminosity thrashing. They're in the bomb site, while Evil Geniuses are not, pretty much. Like, they are just right outside the delivery, ready to walk in, and nobody from EG are there to stop them. They can't stop them.
Necrox going to be peeking around aggressively, smoking out the hatch, making sure that that sightline is denied, but also they can't get picked up from there, and maybe doing a little bit of damage as well if he wants to. Necrox holding down that angle onto the front door as well, so a few charges are going to go out. Young goes to the peak, but Factor is going to start to plant the diffuser. Yokai drone is available in sight right now, as Necrox should be able to know where this plant is going down, but the Yokai drone doesn't disable it, and the plant goes down successfully. The peak comes through from Young, he's going to go down. It's all down to Necrox once more to try and bring this in. Tries to go for the prone angle here, but no, easily picked up by Luminosity. You find 5 attack rounds. An absolute dominant performance from them.
What is it with NA? LATAM gave us a great showing of their semi-finals. They've shown why they were the top 4 teams. What's happened to NA? Why are we seeing stomps all of a sudden? This isn't how it's supposed to go down. It's not supposed to happen like this, James. And yet it is. Yet it is. Look at that. Rexon, 9 kills. Hyena, 7. Whenever Doodle got that 1 kill in the first round, I was like, yes, my man Cole. He hasn't got a single kill since I said that. 5 assists, though. But he hasn't really had to do anything, has he, James?
He's getting his points on the board. Well, we'll see how things go down as we move into a hookah lounge and billiards room for the first defense coming out from Luminosity. Rexon going to be bringing the Vigil, who's really been the man today. He's been getting so many entry frags coming out from LG. EG, of course, going to be bringing the Lion instead of the Gridlock. But honestly, I feel like without the KB, the Lion doesn't really give you much here. Also without the Jackal as well, like, where we see the Wombo combo normally coming through, but we don't see that coming out at all.
Okay, we're moving in now to the first defense for Luminosity. It will be for their hookah lineups. Vigil being brought in by LG. Curious, I'm guessing it's because he sees the Lion. That would be my obvious explanation for it.
Potentially. We'll have a look how that is going to be going down. Yeah, that is true. I remember seeing G2 play around this quite well. Like, they had Uno playing Vigil, and he managed to play around it like quite well. I think it's something that people forget about Vigil, that he is actually a hard counter to Lion, that if you have your ERC7 up, while the Lion charge is going out, you won't get detected by it. It's quite a nifty thing.
It is nifty. But one that isn't really exploited as well as what we would expect it to. So EG, where are they looking to push in towards? We know that there's some rumors scattered around the penthouse and theater side of things, but Evil Geniuses, how do you try and coordinate your attack? All over the place at the moment for EG. There is an entryway in towards Sunrise, which is where Geo has gotten himself into, so perhaps opting for the buck below strategy, where they try and kill the anchors before anything else. Luminosity are happy enough to give them control of that point of the map, but still, I don't know, Luminosity, if you've realized that there's no interest in you, this is where you need to start rotating, trying to get yourself in a position where you can apply pressure, which is what they've done. And Thomas, there's Big Tommy. He's managed to pick up a kill.
Yeah, that's already Necros on the board. That is lying down instantly. And no line charge is really going to be used just yet. EG going to be trying to drone across the board and see what they can do to try and pick up a refrag, but Thomas still down there in the offices and still putting it all down, along with Hyena as well. This is not looking good for EG whatsoever. Thomas still playing behind the blue bar, however, this is a really strong position to have, considering you also cannot get vertical play really on the go here. See EG struggling to really get any kind of control here so far, as MVK and Geo trying to make their way down below. MVK making his way through security, but Thomas finds another one. There goes Geo. That's nades off the table for EG, but Mo will eventually find that refrag. But that is really good work done by Thomas there. Hyena goes down as well. That's a nitro off the table in the form of the Mozzie. See a 3v3 developing now.
So C4 gone, primarily. So, and there's not really any other denial apart from the smoke. You know, explosive devices anyway. So Evil Geniuses, they have a bit of time to play with, a minute to go. That's more than enough whenever Coastline takes very minimal setup, which is what we've discussed. That's why it's very favored to the attackers, because you don't really have to think as hard as what you would in other maps. EG still looking for their best option. I wonder if a double window repel will come in, because that could be an option for them to try and create a crossfire and try and sanction off some of the defenders. Rotating in towards Aquarium, so that is where they will try and go for the plant inside of A. I don't know if this is the best decision, whenever there still isn't a whole lot of control for EG specifically. Luminosity should be able to just hold this. For 30 seconds, they can easily outmuscle them with the manpower, but there is that window repel that they have, and I wonder if LG will try and utilize the fact that it's just a man in the window. They try to go for it, but no, he's one step ahead, but the quick peek from Factor will take him right off the board. And now it's a 2-2. Young and MVK have to make it happen. Diffuser is trying to get initiated, but the smoke will try and force him away. Rushes straight in towards the bomb site. Where's the cover from Factor? There it is. There's one for him, one for Doodle. Luminosity, map point already.
Really well played by Factor to be able to take bodies on the board here. Just absolutely dominating this performance here so far. Luminosity find their very first defense here, and now they're on match point. And like,
I wasn't ready for this tonight, James.
Insane.
I really wasn't.
This is so one-sided right now. EG cannot find their footing here on Coastline. They've got to find the next 5 rounds in a row, and we haven't even seen the kitchen defense from LG yet.
Wild. And here comes the kitchen. This should be it. It has to be it. Mira Echo now on the board for LG. 6 pick, perhaps? No, just sticking with it. I think whenever you see the Mira there, EG now, they have to go for the upstairs. They have to take control, because you're not going to be able to push in bomb site as freely as what you would. Because not only does Mira give that denial factor where you can't really push it, she's going to see you before you see her, and it just gives them that information. It kind of replaces the Maestro turrets in a way, because generally we see Echo Mira being the main 2 bans for Coastline, and Maestro's left up, and he's also very strong, because that Evil Eye can sit right on the bomb chassis, look right down that very long corridor, also can see for the smokes, which we know are very prevalent.
For that reason, I kind of thought we'd see a bulletproof camera come out from Factor, just to like have the ability to see through smokes if they were being brought along. I think the one big thing for me is Capitao is available. We haven't seen it yet at all. Like, I think Capitao is a great pick here.
Depends on how a team wants to use it, because generically Capitao is used for very slow, methodical pushes where you're aiming to push out a specific area that you've struggled with. For both these teams, I don't really think they struggle with any set positions. They just go for the crossfires, the refrag potential. They're very all in with their gun skill, aren't they?
Well, I mean, we saw from EG's attack, like, if they were able to get Doodle out from behind that bar, they probably would have had a lot more success in that attack. So, well, we'll see how it is going to be moving through, as Mo already having that control of a sunrise, and he has of course got that crossfire. That crossfire works both ways. Line charge is going to go out from Necrox. They should be able to do a little bit of work here. They do know that Rexon is up here and available. They're going to have to be very careful about fragging him out. Oh, and rotate being made very late on, but Geo picks up Thomas, and Mo will pick up Rexon. Great start for EG's attack.
Perfect. Evil Geniuses, they get themselves back in it. And Luminosity, that kind of aggression has not paid off for them. And Luminosity needs to back their way in towards the B bomb site. So A is pretty free in my eyes if you look at the way Evil Geniuses are set up. No smokes though, which would be the only thing they're kind of lacking in their attack. And well, there is a smoke, but it's on the defense, and he can try and hold them at bay. Now their EU1D comes in. Upstairs control from Factor still has this hash to play around, and he has to be the man to kill the person inside the reception. He has to pounce for it as NVK shuts him down, says, no you don't. Hyena, 1v4, has to make it an ace for himself, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Swinging in, eliminates Geo, but a minute to go. More manpower still for Evil Geniuses, and this should be an easy lockout as Hyena, another one for him. Surely not, surely this isn't the throw. Hyena has been spotted again, but still alive. But now this is where Evil Geniuses, they have the crossfire established. A good rotation from Mo, puts him out of harm's way, and it just leaves Young now, up close and personal, and that's an easy pre-fire. Information being fed, and they keep themselves in it. Still one more round, but Luminosity, they have a 4-point gap still, James.
Nice try coming out from Hyena, however, it will not be able to make it work, as EG will find their very first attack round. They've got to find 4 more, however, if they want to make this work and bring us to overtime. This is kind of rough. But the thing is that EG do have the OT side pick, but I feel like they've chosen attack. I guess, though, if they did win all their attacks now and brought us to OT, it would be attacker-sided. But, I mean, we'll have a look how it does go down as we move into a kitchen and service entrance. Defense coming through is not looking good for EG whatsoever. They can find the next 4 rounds in a row if they want to bring us into overtime. We want to stand a chance at bringing in the first map. What do we think so far?
I feel Luminosity have just came out swinging. That hungry aggression that we know they want this spot so much. Luminosity, over the course of their career, very young team, very new team. Kind of similar to what Na'Vi did in EU, of being a fresh team who won Challenger League, pushed their way in the Pro League. Of course, Na'Vi doing a lot better than what Luminosity did, but still, there was glimmers and there was a real big uptake for Luminosity they could take away from this season. If you look at LAN performances, we've seen them first at Allied, didn't really do a lot as 92 Dream Team.
Yeah.
Then they went to Montreal, arguably got one of the toughest groups that they could have asked for. They had G2, they had Liquid in there, and eventually, we also seen BDS
well, yeah.
join them. But just for Luminosity, they were really up against it Montreal. They got obliterated in better terms.
Also, at both of their last 2 events, they've had Drip on their team and then Pixel on their team. This will be if they make it, this will be the first LAN event that they play with Factor, who at that very same Allied miner, I believe, went plus 26. He had a very, very high KD there. So, you know, we'll see how it does go down with Factor there in this lineup. But of course, they've got us qualified there first. Things looking really good for Luminosity though so far.
Again, another exact same 5 operators for EG. Nothing really have changed. And this is, I think, just kind of plays into what Coastline does for the attacks. It's just very standard. You bring every operator that you feel would fit every single bomb site, because we know every bomb site is defendable in Coastline, similar to what we see in Consulate, for example.
We saw this shield coming out from Obey as well. They used an alibi from Grixer here, and he played around it quite well against EG. I think this shield is actually really, really good. Like, we talked about shields before, the deployable shield's really, really strong, but that shield allows you to control that entire hallway as well. And the mirror as well, with the reinforcement next to it, allows you to control Hookah Lounge as well. So I think this is a really powerful position that Thomas is holding down. We'll have a look how things move through as EG take control of Aquarium.
So Evil Genius is now opting for the upstairs control, trying to utilize the skeleton key at the hip of Geo. There is some fierce competition upstairs. There is a man holding by himself the Hookah Lounge, using a mirror window and a deployable shield, but he's just by himself. There's nobody else there. Now the remodeling will take place, and this is great for Evil Geniuses. They have really paced themselves nicely. They have a minute 30 to go. They have control of what they wanted, And now it's all about getting Geo in, start raining havoc, and try and pick up some frags to alleviate pressure for the final execution.
That's a yokai drone off the board as well. MGK picking that up for free in security. And that's EG actually have a lot of control right now. They've taken over a lot of parts of the map, but LG still holding on all the parts that they really do want. They have decided to move out of security side. However, Nitro at pre-place getting detonated, but not able to find anything just so far. Hyena getting very lit up, however, as well as Geo. They're both so low HP, but neither one finding each other's nades. Are going to come out from Geo. The line is also coming out as well. But oh, the nade gets caught by an ADS. That's not good. Should be checking those things.
50 seconds now, Luminosity holding on, but there's not a lot of areas they can sit in. Rexon has found a comfy position. NVK picks off Factors. He tried to rotate in towards Courtyard. Now it's all square pretty much, as there is a down Geo. Doodle eliminated inside of bathroom. Got the flush. And now for Evil Geniuses, they have a lot of control. Actually, Geo, he wasn't down, he's on 1 HP. Just holding on, isn't gone, and still can be a threat. All he needs to do is hold the connector crosses, which he does well. And again, Evil Geniuses, they crack down on the kitchen. And Luminosity, they cannot get it together.
Not looking good at all. It's going to be Hyena yet again with it all to do. But 1 HP in a dream is not going to be able to bring it in. Evil Geniuses take round number 9. And yet another successful attack of the kitchen going down for them. Could this be the reverse sweep coming out, Demo?
That's a big statement, because now we get to go hookah for Luminosity. They get to go to the bomb site that they did win. I don't know why kitchen didn't work for them, because you really would have expected it to. Strange anomaly, but hey, at the same time, we didn't really see EG have a great time on kitchen either. And it will be that hookah being locked in. I wonder if they're going to continue on with the Mira, because it hasn't really done anything to assist them. I would much rather see them bring a very heavy fragging lineup. They will lock it in for hookah, but I'm guessing that will be a sick pick bait to try and think EG, oh, they're going to go kitchen again. That's why they're bringing the Mira. No Vigilo this time.
It's also like change up of roles entirely. They brought a Mozzie now from Hyena. Jaeger is going to be brought by Rexon rather than Factor. Factor's moving on to the Echo instead of Hyena, and like this has all been just completely swapped around. No Vigil coming out this time as well from Luminosity compared to the last time they went here. I'll be interested to see how this does go down, because it's like a very different idea of what they were doing last time. I do like the Mozzie making his way back into the lineup, however, because we've seen like decent drone work coming out from EG, which I think has just made this line so much more powerful. Especially like, so like when they pushed out security and they pushed out the opposite side, EG gained all that control. They forced Luminosity to move into Courtyard instead. And after that, that was such easy picks coming out from EG. We'll have a look how things do from Luminosity, however, and what they do want to do here. So far, things still looking good. EG have to find 3 more rounds, however, if they want to bring this into overtime.
Alright, EG, can you make the miracle happen? Can you pull this back into OT and give yourself a fighting chance? Up against some stiff competition from the youngsters as Luminosity, they look as if they want to try and close this out with, again, a very hard hookah being chosen by them. Last time for EG, they really got caught up on, I think, the time management for them. We seen them kind of go for a light rotate into Aquarium, even though that wasn't like the ideal position that they initially went for. It was kind of like a last-minute thing, and whenever I say last-minute things in Siege, James, I always just, why? You know, just why go for it? Just do that to begin with. Don't like to see them.
Well, we'll have a look at exactly how this is going to be going down. The yokai drones are going to be repositioned. I like how aggressive Luminosity is with one of the yokai drones, just to help out with all the roamers up on the board and give them a bit of info. And VK going to make his way through security. In fact, I should be able to spot out exactly what's happened here, as he's moved his yokai drone down into the blue bar.
It's upstairs pressure being applied in towards the penthouse and theater, and EG not looking as if they want to try and pressure it once more. Sunrise is happy enough that they will just take that and only that. And once again, Luminosity happy enough to allow them to have said position. Luminosity, though, last time, we did see them have a little bit more flexibility, and they actually rotated downstairs, and Ash has crouch-walked her way up the stairs, picked off Hyena, and it just fell back. An easy one for MVK, who he's all of a sudden, he's woke up.
MVK's been doing a lot better now on the attack, but that's the same as we talk about him, and VK takes Thomas off the board as well. Now a 3v5, sorry. MVK finally finding his death, however, to Rexon, as Young finds one of his own. Doodle's out of it, and that's a smoke down already. That's a big pick coming out from EG, as they push it into a 4v2. Well, that's a Rexon and Factor to try and bring this in. Zacta still holding down this long angle to the hookah door, but no, Rexon takes him off the board, but instantly they both get traded out. Evil Geniuses take round number 10, and their very first hookah attack as well, so now things looking much better for EG.
Yeah, we had a very big gap. We had a 5-round gap between these teams, and all of a sudden, EG has pulled it back to only 2. This is where you start to worry if you're Luminosity, because EG, they have a bit of momentum. They have something now to play off, and oh my, we could be on for OT, James. This could still happen. I still have faith, though, that Luminosity will pick it up, and they will try and see this game out, and they were probably expecting a much more swift and cleaner game for them. They were probably hoping for the 7-1, but EG, they're not as easy to roll over as what they would expect.
We'll see the Warden coming out from Rexon this time, interestingly enough. Potential 6th pick coming out from him. We don't see him playing Warden too much. I would guess maybe a Vigil coming out from him now. No, the Jaeger. Rexon, he's the Jaeger Ash main of LG, and he does a decent job with it. We did see him do quite a lot of damage
so far.
Yeah,
he's been playing well, but he needs to. We need to see more of that. We need to see him really excel now, because whenever they go and get tough, big boys have to go out to play. Once again, Hookah coming in. Exact same lineup for Luminosity, nothing out of the ordinary, and still for Evil Geniuses, not a single change. Same 5 attacking operators. Both these teams very adamant in their setups and their lineups, and they're very strong, and they feel as if it works. And well, it is working for Evil Geniuses, not so much for Luminosity. Where's that Vigil win?
I think the big thing that happened here last time wasn't the fact that they had a Vigil when they won here, but it was more the fact they took Necrox off the board immediately. No Lion for EG took away a huge part of their utility. I think this is also why LG stopped bringing the Lion, because if he goes down early on, they don't really have a lot of push power.
So Evil Geniuses, for the most part, they have pressured in towards Sunrise. They have seen the heavy setup that Luminosity have went for towards like Penthouse and Theater. Yes, we've seen NVK kind of play by himself and picked up a kill. Sure, that's what you expect from your crouch-walking Ash main who plays like a lone wolf. This time around, though, Luminosity not going for that heavy hold and are more spread out in their roam game. Geo, once more, will try and enter in towards Sunrise, but since there is roamers towards that bottom floor, he has to be cautious.
No way,
He has to be cautious of the man peeking out.
He just peeked the billiards window like that.
Yeah, he's a madman.
Who does that? Absolute madman. On the smoke as well.
You either make the play, James, and the play makes you.
The play makes you, yeah.
Thank you. You're catching
completely
on.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's a really good opening frag. Geo going to go down. Definitely one of the top performers coming out from Evil Geniuses, going down so early on. And Factor on the multi is going to be roaming out on side theater side.
So Evil Geniuses, they've took a bit of a knock. That's their buck. That's their nades. That was primarily the man who opened up and really limited Luminosity in the positions they could play, as in like the anchors where they could really sit. Not a whole lot of areas whenever the Skeleton Key is raining havoc from below. Luminosity, they still also have control of that VIP side. So even though we said that they didn't really pressure that as much as what they have before, they still have control. They still have that in their back pocket. And EG now, I don't like the way they're clumping up, because it kind of tells me that they don't actually know what they want to do.
I love that from Rexon, is like slowly proning his way across, but Doodle is going to go down. Mo takes him out of it. Now, of course, we still have this line up on the board and active from EG. Rexon still holding down onto Cool Vibes to see what he can do here, as Factor still has a lot of control over the opposite side of the map. So EG probably going to try and force their way through on Aquarium side and try and do that kind of push, but yeah, they are quite spread out right now.
A lot of pressure now on MVK. He's going to take up the Lone Mantle in towards the VIP and will try and create another option for his team that they can play off. We know how strong he's been playing on the Ashe so far this game, but he needs to recreate that magic once more. Still holding on for dear life, Luminosity. They have control off the VIP and also, of course, the main bomb site. And nobody from Evil Geniuses are in a position to actually get something on the board. So once again, comes back to MVK. How will he try and pursue his dreams? Oh, that's a short-lived one, Factor. He's ready for it. And this has to be the lockout from Luminosity.
Yeah, Rexon going to be wide peeking up, takes down Young, tries to find another one. However, that's Diffuser down and out of it. As Mo is going to rappel up onto the hookah window. Goes for the upside down rappel, desperate to find this refrag onto Wrexham, but it's just him and Necrox left remaining on the board for EG to try and bring this in. They need the clutch or they'll get knocked out in this first map.
10 seconds to go.
The rotate does come through from Necrox. Going to recover the diffuser, desperate to try and get this refrag as well. There we go, and refrag does come through. Wrexham does go down, but no, it's going to be Thomas who picks up one, and Luminosity will lock out the round as Mo is unable to find anything. It's good house coming out as Luminosity find the very first map, 7-4.
Well, it was a lot closer than I thought Luminosity would have expected, but it's their first map nonetheless. So Luminosity 7-4, no overtime needed, but we're not done yet. Still, EG can try and bounce back and take back the second, which will then lead us on to the third, or perhaps Luminosity could just end it here and now. We'll see you after the break.